In this video, I'm going to show you how to add some basic styling to your page. So up until this point, we've been creating pages that are just simply black and white, and that gets kind of boring. When you think of web pages, I mean, if you looked at our NCCC homepage, there's a lot of color, there's a lot of images, there's a lot of interest going on. So cascading style sheets, CSS, is used to add styling to your HTML. It is a different programming language. It has different syntax. There are 3 ways to add styling. One way is to add it right inside the tag. So you could continue with your HTML tag, add a style attribute, and then give that some values. The second way to do that is to use what's called the style tag. And then the third way to do that is to create a completely separate file with a different extension on it. Notice this is an HTML extension. You could create a file with a .css extension and include that here, link it to this file, and then that would work well if you were creating an entire website, because you want to be consistent with colors you use, sizing of font, etc. So I'm going to show you how to do it with a style tag, because I think that's the cleanest way to do it for our purposes. So right at the top where you have your title, you create below your title and above your body, add in style. So you have a style open and you would have a style close. Now again, keep in mind that this is just the basics on styling, so I'm not going to take this too far. But let's say, for example, you wanted to change the color of the font on this heading tag. So the syntax for styling is to use the tag name as an identifier. So I'm going to use H1 as an identifier. Now I'm going to use the curly brace. The curly brace is right above your Enter key. So right here, open, and then I'm going to close the curly brace. So all of my style information is going to go in between this. So think of this as kind of embracing, if you will, the statements. So now you have what are called style properties. So the first property would be the color. Color refers to font color. Follow that keyword by a colon, then space, and what color do you want it? Let's just say blue. Now again, I'm taking the easy way out here. Remember, this is just a beginner how to do some styling. So the blue here, I can use the word blue and it'll just default to a regular blue. You could use a color picker online, and that will give you all of the specific codes for different colors you can use. So you can use any variation of color, but you would need a code to do that. So let's just take the easy way out for right now. Save your file, and then again refresh the page or launch it again. And notice what happened right here, right? So I went from black, the default, to blue. Let me show you a couple more changes you can make. So color is an easy one. Another easy one is font family. So the font family, if you go back to your web page, it's defaulting to Times New Roman. And let's say you don't want that. I'm just going to close these. I have too many of these open. Let's say you want something like Tahoma. So save that. Right? Okay, so this has changed and this has not, right? Because I did it only on the H1. I didn't put it on the P. Now, if I attach that change to the P tag as well, you'll see both changed. What if we want to change the font size on our P tag? That's way too tiny. I want it a little bit bigger. So here, right, after you close out your H1, start a new style for P. Opening curly brace, closing curly brace, and on your P, we're going to use font size. And I'm going to change the font size to, let's just say 20 pixels. Save it, refresh your page, and notice that this is bigger. right? So that's just some basic styling. How do I know what the property is? Well, this is where you can use your tools like W3 Schools to look up something you may want to change. So for example, if you want to change a border, add a border in, or something like that, you could look in W3 Schools. Let me just bring up my browser. And go over to CSS. And here is so much information. Let's look at backgrounds. Let's say, for example, you wanted to add a background color. Here it shows you that on the body you can add a background color, and here's the syntax, the proper syntax. It's the word background dash color. You can change it to light blue. So if we try that in our web page, I'm going to go back over here. Not that it'll look good with the bills, but let's just see what happens. So I'm going to, at the end of P, I'm going to do body. So body, remember, is everything on your page. I'm going to just put in background dash color, light blue, close out body, save it, back here again. And notice that it added the light blue on everything. Remember that our image had the white background, so that's why you're seeing this big white square. But that's a few different things you can add with CSS. And again, if you want to search more, go over to W3 Schools CSS and you'll find more information on that.